Good evening and thanks for being here. As the first patient diagnosed with the deadly Ebola virus in the United States has died, his nurse who contracted the virus is continuing to fight in Texas.
That's causing concern around the country. Deven Clarke spoke with local doctors and people who live in the community to find out how it's affecting our area. He's live in DuBois with more. Deven?
Well, Jen, the good news is there have been no confirmed cases of Ebola in our area. And while the thought of it spreading may be reason for some to worry, the doctor I spoke to told me that he's pretty confident that it's not that easy to contract. Countries in West Africa continue to battle the Ebola virus epidemic, and with a few confirmed cases here in the U.S., fear is growing among some Americans. But Chief Medical Officer of Penn Highlands DuBois, Dr. Dugan, says Ebola is still very localized.
Well, I don't think the general public should be worried. That's first and foremost. We don't want to create any panic.
One reason for the growing concern may be the approaching flu season. The Ebola virus symptoms and the influenza virus symptoms are similar. But Dr. Dugan says even if you experience muscle pain, vomiting, diarrhea, and high fever, it's important to know and weigh your actual risks of exposure.
The first and foremost, most important question is, have you been traveling to Africa within the last 21 days? That's really the first key question that should be asked.
Dr. Dugan says it's also important to know how the disease is spread.
It's not something that's airborne. It's not something you can acquire through casual contact.
Knowing how the virus is transmitted is why local bar and restaurant manager Bob Kiel isn't worried.
From everything I've read and understand about the virus, the trading of body fluids and so forth, and into open sores, the trading of the fluids. So the standards we have here at the restaurant already prevent those problems from happening. So as unfortunate as it is that there's some people suffering from it, we're not worried about it here at the Tavern.
Still, doctors say there are some who should be cautious.
Anyone that's been traveling to that area of the world that has these types of symptoms should have a heightened degree of awareness and probably contact their healthcare professional.
Now, even though there have been no confirmed or reported cases of the Ebola virus outbreak in our area, Dr. Dugan says that all of the Penn Highlands facilities have been trained in accordance with the CDC, just in case disaster were to strike. Reporting live from outside of the Clearfield County newsroom, Deven Clarke, 6 News.